Couldn't pick a better mother of my child. Like, we share some of the same perspective and views. We grew up in the same similar situation as far as parenting, ideologies, and et cetera. So my son was able to grow up in a traditional way where Christmas, he saw both his parents open up his gifts. He was around family. Our favorite movie we watched together was Friday After Next, with the one with
the
Cat
Christmas,
Williams. Yeah. And so I believed in that, and I wanted to create that. So you create your own narrative and your own culture with your family. And to this day, with my son, we eat, we go out, we hang out, we put the phones down. We get on it now and then. Like, if I'm driving, he's on the phone, he's chatting up, but I'm asking, what the hell you doing? I'm involved, I'm active, saying, like, what are you doing? You know, a lot of parents are doing digital pacifiers. These kids are planning school attacks.
on
the phone, like, straight up.
Right.
They're going through, man, you'd be surprised. I challenge somebody right now with teenage kids, go through your child's phone, especially if you have a daughter, because I guarantee them conversations you're seeing are grown folks conversations, and it's crazy as hell, and you like, damn, I can't believe this. Man, my homegirl found out her daughter was had a weed habit, you know, had all this going on, just going through her phone, and it's like, damn, you thinking they just on TikTok or playing games.
Yeah.
No, they out here living their best damn life.
But see, I think, you know, for me and you, you know, we worked at T-Mobile, so we saw.
Yeah, we seen it.
We
yeah,
seen
yeah.
all they come in. So, like, for my son, like, I got apps on his phone, so I monitor. Like, if he wants to download certain apps, it has to come through me, and I have to request it. And then I'm contacting his mom, like, hey, he wants to download this app. You heard about it? That is, I saw this, and we'll agree. Is it cool if he downloads it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if not, it'd be like, hey, your mom said it's not cool
Well,
because of
what I'm
X, Y, Z.
Exactly.
And we, you know, he's like, okay, cool, I understand.
The power of that social media power.
That's true.
It all goes bad. Like, these kids are not effing with their parents.
Man.
They looking at what's happening online.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm glad I don't have that headache.
But you know what's, I know this is like, I know this is off subject, but on subject. You know what I notice kids don't have? They don't have sexual fetish habits. Meaning, like, I don't.
So you think?
No. They do, but like, you go through our phone browsers, it's probably 34 websites, sexual websites. Like,
Maybe yours.
Okay, sorry.
Include my browser.
But
You walk around with your browser
but you know, I'm in general, but I'm just saying, like, you notice, but these kids, it's something different. Like, I don't know if these kids are living out these things, but like, most adults and parents, like, they definitely have Pornhub book tabs and bookmarks in their phones. That's a fact. But these kids don't. But
They probably on something you don't know about.
it may be
the incognito mode.
Oh, you know what? That's true too.
You like, oh, ain't nothing right there.
I mean, literally, all you think they're on Twitter, and now I'm free Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good
point. It's just as simple as that, bro. Like, again, you don't know what's happening.
And Twitter ain't Twitter.
And Twitter's not Twitter anymore.
Twitter is porn.
It's flat out porn.
Yeah.
When Tumblr left, it became Twitter.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you can't really monitor these things.
Can't.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just have to do the best you can as a parent. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, which I'm gonna segue to inclusion. I know this is something that you and I kind of spoke about on the side.
I know.
So we're going to bring Brian Reese Smooth in the conversation. I'll let you start off since you had such heavy thoughts about it.
Oh, yeah. So I've been, being in media, when you're in front of the camera or you're on the mic, you tremendously have to be mindful of what you say, right?
Correct.
And I work with, in the industry, a lot of people in the LGBTQ plus community. I won't say LMNOP. I love saying that. But I have a lot of friends who are involved in that community, right? And when I first started here with Cluster Radio, 5.5 years, 6 years ago now, I had a 4-hour conversation with some individuals behind the scenes who weren't on radio about questions I had, not about sexual curiosities, about acceptance. What are we talking about? About inclusion. Now, this is how long this conversation has been going. And I was like, so stereotypical rumors had to be diffused. Hey, say one, the reason why, as a straight man, and why things are considered to be homophobic is because most straight men think that because a man is gay, they want them because they're gay. Like, no, dude, you're not even my type. So these were eye-opening, real-life great conversations. And then it had me thinking. So I've been thinking for the last 6 years. And because I'm watching shows like Empire, I'm watching shows that have developed like P-Valley, which I will not watch. Shows and movies where you're seeing Toy Story, you're seeing Thor, you're seeing all of this diverse, even in the workforce. The biggest thing in the workforce is diversity and inclusion. You hear that a lot. You take trainings. We took with T-Mobile.
I just got off on one 2 weeks ago.
We took trainings for forever, every month, every half of the month. We said somebody must have got sued.
Okay, but get to it because we need to know where you're going.
Okay, so yeah, I got to build it up. So what I learned is what I was trying to figure out is that I realized I was getting people's attention the wrong way when I was saying there's a gay agenda. Because so I'm having people, because the biggest supporters of the LGBT community are black women. So the black women are jumping on a line defending and saying, you can't say that. It's not an agenda. That's homophobic, blah, blah, blah. And I said, wait a minute.
Let their gay friend piss them off.
Then they're right there with me.
Then they're on your side.
Exactly.
So
now we're the lynch mob.
Totally different.
That's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother one.
So I said,
keep it moving.
So I said, why every time I see a movie or TV show, there has to be some kind of gay inclusion?
Okay, so how does that make you feel?
It bothers, to this day, it's still, after having so many profound conversations, it still bothers me.
Why?
Because I feel like every lifestyle should have their own lane.
Okay, stop. Ryan, you can back me up if I'm wrong. So I heard everything that you said. It bothers you as a man.
And as a father.
Okay, that's fine. I get all that. Man, father, child of Christ. That's cool. My thing is, you have to be open-minded. Because before all of this inclusion started happening, what were people saying on TV? Straight people. Mm-hmm. Straight people everywhere. From I Love Lucy to I Dream of Jeannie to all of this stuff now. How do you think that makes the other sex feel when they're not seeing themselves represented on television? They have to see straight people. They're not identifying with that because that's not what they like or that's not what they're into. So I don't mind seeing inclusion because as men, the double standard steps in. Oh, I can see two lesbians on screen eating each other out, sucking, kissing, whatever, and
exactly.
I'm cool.
To this day.
But to this day.
Right
and
now,
it's okay.
as we speak. Yes.
To this day.
I'm
but
praying
it's not
for it.
okay
It's on his browser history.
when you see and it's okay for you not to see two men holding hand, kissing, touching. What's the difference?
Not even high-fiving no more.
Right. So it's not, to me, I feel like that's just dumb because inclusion needs to be everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like when we were little black kids growing up, we had to see white people on TV.
That's a great point.
So when I go see somebody that's my skin tone representing me on television,
that's a great point.
Like, oh, that person looks like me. I can possibly be an actor. I can possibly be a movie star because that man looks like me. I'm familiar with that person.
Great point.
It's the same thing.
It's not.
Okay, how though?
Because this is where
Because you feel uncomfortable?
No, I'm past that stage now.
Okay, so it shouldn't be an issue then.
It's an
because
issue.
if you're secure in yourself, that shouldn't be a problem.
Great question, and we're having an intellectual conversation.
Let's do it, because I feel like you're doing that bullshit you want to argue. So let's go.
No, so I'm gonna tell you why. So the inclusion. So I'm past the discuss point, in a sense of like, damn, like, where did this come from? Because it's not like I signed up to watch like Empire is about a gay music label. No, it turned into that. Okay, cool. We passed that. Okay, I get it. Here's what when we talk about inclusion, here's where we cross the lines. Inclusion means now you have to include in sports. You have to include it in a lot of other things.
Shawn, people have been closeted for years in sports.
No. Hear me out. I want you to hear me out. If you're an NBA pro basketball player, if you're the top player in the league, you gay, I don't give a damn. Here's what we talk about when we talk about these transgender kids and athletes who are really just using that as an excuse, and they're beating the crap out of the opposite sex, even though they identify as the same sex that they're fighting. which it still sounds crazy to have to explain that, why don't you create your own lane? You'll never see a 5-star Olympic athlete compete in the Special Olympics. You know why? Because it's nowhere near an equal playing field. I don't give a damn how many estrogen tests you take before, and because you identify as a woman and you were born a man, genetically a man still, and you said because you identify and I have to be this diverse inclusion person, then we're gonna let you compete and beat the brain cells off these women and lead and be tremendous athletes against women, and you're still a man. Even if you go to the extremity, you cut your extremity out, you still are DNA-wise a man, molecular structure, DNA the same. To me, that's where inclusion trickles over. It goes too far. Because now we're included in everything.
Okay, stop there.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Because that's a lot to unpack.
Take the steam off it.
Right. That sounds like it's boiling in his soul. That's why I want you to get it out.
That red means rice boiling over there, don't you?
What you got, B?
So, as far as inclusion go, I think, like you said, Brandon, you brought the symbolization of, black kids growing up seeing it. We're in a day and age where it's there. It's our lives. And I think it is important to have inclusion. I think when Shawn mentioned about the Thor thing, where it got a little forced in the movie, because one of the heroines, we know she was a lesbian. She cool. She kicking ass. She doing all that stuff.
Right.
It was the part where the rock creature was like, oh, the way that I'm formed is 2 rock males come together and we shake hands real fast, and then we make rock people. And it was like, dang, bro, like where did that come from? Like, it just threw off the whole.
Bro, they done made Velma gay from Scooby-Doo.
I mean,
that cartoon is 60 years old.
That's a female, like in a female.
I still don't like it.
A rock creature, but I think it is needed for, because I don't know if you were there is it was a movie that just came out where it's basically it's a comedy where it's about a gay guy, like basically like his gay lifestyle and him trying to find love and the comedic aspect of it.
It's the boys or the something like
bros or something like that.
Yeah,
so they have that and cool.
Yeah.
And it's all for it. I don't want to watch it. I don't have to watch it.
But you know who did? Who? People that support and believe in that.
And that's cool.
And that's cool.
Well, go ahead.
That doesn't so what you eat don't make me fish. Because and that's cool that y'all have that. Like you said, they need that lane. They have the lane. And to kind of what you said about with the sports thing, I think it is unfair to the women when you're letting transgender boys that are genetically stronger than them, faster than them, compete. And now these girls who've been training so hard to get to this point, now they're getting beat and they're feeling less than. Now they probably don't even want to do the sport anymore. That's where the inclusion, like you said, either they have this own lane or you compete with men.
Because until we were accepted in Hollywood, what did we have to do? Create our own lane. And you know what we did? That's where you had black exploitation films. And that's where you had Dolomite. That's where you had Pam Grier. That's where you had all these legends came from, because you know what they did? They say, damn what you say. You don't want to accept me? That's cool. I created my own lane.
Okay.
Don't make Velma gay when for 50 years we didn't watch Velma from Scooby-Doo just be the nerdy, goofy white girl on Scooby-Doo. Now she's a whole full-fledged lesbian.
Because
that's weird, bro.
Okay, stop.
That's weird, bro.
Let me ask you this. Yeah. Okay. Create your lane. That's fine.
That's it.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah.
Which I feel like the community has created a lane, but guess what? They're not going to be accepted as mainstream.
For a while. I mean, it took a while. It took a while for us to get mainstream.
It's not even there.
That's a tough.
It took, you know what I'm saying?
That's a great rebuttal.
Wow.
So you can say create your lane, but it still wouldn't be a fair creation.
Okay, great point.
You may have that one up where you have who? The RuPauls.
Yeah.
The Laverne Coxes.
Big Frida.
T.S. Madison.
Yeah.
You may have those people that get their dough in. You know what I'm saying? I look at those as people who've paved the way for people to create that lane. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's still not accepted.
By who? Mainstream?
By mainstream. Mainstream is not going to accept it because it's not the norm.
Let me ask you a question. Just on your thought process, do you think it's more homosexual people in the world or straight people in the world?
I never thought about it.
Exactly. Think about this.
I look at people. I love people. I don't
people
care
who
what
they
you
are.
do.
So
I don't care what you do.
So you know why it matters? So it matters because we live in America. Black people are what? The minority.
Right.
So it took us creating our own lane in 50, 60 years to be accepted.
But guess what? We still not as a people accepted.
In what?
I mean, we
You
still
think they don't
get fucked
accept-
over some. I will sorry, we still get
Bring
messed
it out
over
of
some areas. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
think that
it's
Tyler
still
Perry's not accepted in Hollywood? You know what he did? He created his own lane.
and that's fine,
And
Sean.
I mean, it's one of how
It's a
Hollywood
one-up.
comes to him.
It's a one-up,
Not a
dude.
minute, not a lot
because
of 'em.
because I look at it as the LGBT community is great, and I love them because they.
I don't think you do.
No, I
because
do. I don't
listening
hate
to-
anybody.
Well, here's the thing. Listening to some of the things that you say, if I was your child, I would never talk to you. And if I had that spirit to say, Dad, I want to do such, I would never have a conversation with you because of your views.
I have views,
And
but
that
I don't
will
hate people. I don't hate
didn't
anybody
say
for what they
you- I
want.
didn't say you hated
Okay.
them. I'm just saying, listening to what you're saying, because we're just having dialogue.
Yeah.
Somebody will be scared to be themselves around you.
Why?
Because do you hear the shit that you're saying right
Yeah,
now?
because what I'm saying is
do
that
you hear it?
You're saying that nobody
Do you
will.
not hear yourself
I hear
talking? Or
I
you
hear
just talking
myself.
for the
I hear
talk?
myself. But you're saying it's not accepted. But you have to understand what you're telling me to accept. You're telling me to accept
I'm
your
not telling
sex.
you to accept anything.
Oh no,
What
you're
I'm
telling
saying
me.
is if you participate in what you want to participate in.
Correct.
Okay?
Right.
But you don't have to have an opinion about it.
But-
you can have your opinion, but you don't have to voice it.
Yes, but the difference is that the reason why the battle is that, damn, that's gonna cross the line.
No, go. It's candidly.
I'm born black. I'm born black, right?
Right.
So I have strikes against me.
Already.
You have to develop and realize if you are gay. I know I'm black. I was
Okay.
born black. On my birth certificate, it says black.
Okay.
There's nothing on the birth certificate to say that you're gay. Gay is a lifestyle and a sexual preference. I don't have a preference to
Do you
be
think
black.
it's chosen?
In a sense, I 50% believe it is.
50%.
Yes, I think it's 50-50.
Here it goes.
I think
the
it's
other
50. The other 50 is what in society was put out there genetically. What's been put out there, boys? It's not even science. It's scientifically proven that more women are being born with more testosterone. More young men are being born with estrogen, which means they're producing more women traits. They're producing more women things. And then with men, then women producing more testosterone. That's where you're seeing this genetic makeup. The genetic makeups are changing. And so I think that's another contributing factor to people's sexual preference. That's just what it is. At the end of the day, I don't care who you sleep with, right? But you're telling me when you're putting XYZ in inclusion, you're telling me to accept that lifestyle. That's what you're doing.
No. I'm sorry.
I don't see how that's not what. So,
Nobody can tell you what to do. Life is, in some aspects, you have choices.
right, but you want me to accept it by including
No,
it.
can nobody, Sean? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hush.
No, it's a breakthrough moment because that's how I feel. I'm saying it's being forced because you want it to be accepted.
I don't look at it as being forced. I
Okay.
think people need to see representation of who they are.
Yeah, that I can agree with.
Okay, so that's not forcing it.
Okay.
Like you said, Velma. Yeah, we know 60-year-old Velma. I never had any indication that Velma was a lesbian.
I thought she
As
always
was
wanted
growing-
Fred,
I
but he
just
always
thought she
ran off
wanted
with Daphne.
Fred.
Yeah,
You
he
know
was
what I'm
going with
saying?
Daphne.
But okay, so they made it to where, hey, somebody needs to be represented in that clique. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make it Velma. You know what I'm saying? Now you can subscribe to that if you want to, or you don't have to.
Scooby-Doo?
Or you don't have to watch. Go back to the old version
Right.
that you grew up on. You don't have to
When she
subscribe
was
to the new one. Whenever she was, that's a cartoon.
Why not create a gay Scooby-Doo?
They may. We don't know what's in the works.
might get it on.
But that I'm not. What you're saying is you're saying that it's forced on you when it's included in certain shows that you grew up on, or just whatever you see now. You don't have to subscribe to that, bro. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, did you watch Empire?
I watched it for a few times. It got boring, but yeah, I watched
It did get boring.
I watched it.
And then when you watched it, and then how many episodes in before they introduced Jussie Smollett?
I have no idea. Do you know how many years ago that was?
I know, but think about this.
No, they introduced it first season, the first
Yeah,
episode.
first season.
First season, not the first episode.
It was the first two. It was real close.
It was an inclination that he might be, and then he ended up having a whole boyfriend.
Yeah, and that's fine. What's
How
wrong
many-
with that?
That's what I'm saying. That's what you confusing me. I don't have.
Again, if I'm a gay person, I have to see straights If I'm gay, I have to look at straights all day.
Because
online, I don't see any representation of what I like.
But why don't we understand
if I'm a gay person?
Why don't we understand that heterosexual lifestyle is I hate saying the word norm.
Because I feel like you're finna say it and it's not.
And I don't want to sound like an ass, but it's considered to be a norm because it's part of the process of reproduction.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's why it's considered to be normal.
So,
that's the only justice for it.
But the fight with that is some gay people don't want kids, or some of the gay people adopted kids that the heterosexual people didn't take care of and do right by.
That's a great point.
So I mean,
it's a tough conversation, but it goes everywhere.
Straight representation doesn't cause you to be straight, does it?
I'm straight by my choice.
Or make you good.
Does it make you a good person?
Hell yeah, I'm a superhero because I'm straight now.
Where your cape at?
I cannot, bro. Like it's hard to have this conversation.
It is, but it's needed.
Because that's why I decided to have it. I wasn't going to go there, but I was just like, you know what, let's just have it because
I ain't spewing no hate.
People out there that literally think like you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
worse.
Probably a bit worse.
Yeah. Because they run up on them and hit them, spit on them. And
my thing is, what you think about what your opinion about me is none of my business.
Right.
I shouldn't have to worry about what you're thinking about. Unfortunately, people can't mind their own business enough to worry about what other people are doing or who they're sleeping with. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
And it's kind of ridiculous to me in my opinion. It's just like, why are you worried? Am I harming you as an individual because I like A, B, and C?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And so to kind of go on with the inclusion part, the only thing I can see when inclusion becomes a problem is when someone uses it to take advantage of a situation.
No, I can't agree with that.
And so, like, for example, I'm not gonna say what company, but we worked, and there was somebody in the LGBT community that and did something against policy.
That's facts.
And because I was the person in charge, I was indeed let go.
Yep.
Because I didn't properly secure company's assets and property. But the person who took it and dealt with it
of that community
kept her job.
That's facts.
And I only say that because there was a HR personnel from a separate incident. There was a gay gentleman working at another location, and he was causing an uproar, like causing mess between employees. There were some employees that were like, women would walk by and they, oh man, she's fine, she this and that, and he didn't like it, and he went to HR and he complained, and HR was like, wrote up everybody. It was like, we're writing up everybody. Because he went and told them, all they were saying was like, man, she's pretty, she hot, I'm gonna go holler at her. And so they all got written up. And then, so at that point, the whole store is now pissed off at them. They're mad. And HR went to the manager and was like, we were hearing that the store is kind of coming against him. They're not really talking to him. They're not really helping him. Like, we need to make sure we're doing that. As a manager, it's your job to make sure he feels safe, because he's a part of the LGBT community. And we need to make sure. And mind you, the manager was like, I'm a lesbian. So what do you mean? And she was part of the people that got written up.
Okay. So let me ask you a question.
And so, like, it was like, for her, she was just like, but she didn't come, like, she didn't have her business out there and to let people know because she doesn't have to.
Right.
And so, like, for her, she was like, for her, she's like, Brian, I've been a lesbian for 10, 12 plus years, like, and for her to sit here and say that, like, they're allowing him to use that as a crutch to keep his job when he's causing a menace in the store.
Yeah.
And instead of reprimanding him or properly coaching him to be amongst his peers and act accordingly, you're condoning it. So guess what happened after that? He was known for that. So every store he went to, if he didn't like something, he went to HR and used that.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
This is just me playing devil's advocate.
No,
I was just asking. So you don't think that's a human reaction, as if straight people?
Oh, it's definitely because white people do it.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Yeah, so white people do it for that benefit.
I don't feel like that kind of action is sexually orientated action.
But
I think that's human action.
It's human action. But
if you go to normal like you say, normal people do that all the time.
But
people act up all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a mental thing where they just like, oh, well, I'm gonna get high my way or whatever. I don't think because of their sexual orientation that causing problems. It could be. Some people do use that as crutches. Some people know what buttons to push, and I'm just using it as a devil's advocate thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but he went to HR and felt I'm being discriminated against because I'm gay.
Now, you know how people will play that card,
and he played it, and and that's kind of goes like what Dave Chappelle kind of said, like, and one of his comedy scenes was like, people in the LGBT community have more rights than black people, and he's like, y'all imagine, remember he said like if Martin Luther King went, marched down, we probably would have had more rights, and it was like it was a funny joke, but at the same time it was like there's some realism to it because the fact that this same HR person known me, I ain't never had no issues with my store, nothing. Shrink, none of that. The store I took over was high shrink. I got it off the list. But this person takes some items and admitted to it, and you're like, you're the same person. Oh, we got to protect, because they're part of the LGBT community. Dang. So what about me? Why I couldn't just get it right up?
Because people are scared of them lawsuits,
and that's what was happening. They were getting sued because people would get let go from T-Mobile, and they would get let go. I said it. They would get let go from not hitting performance.
Bleep that
out. What mode? But cricket.
Right.
But Boost. They would get let go, and the next thing you know, we find out like I'm running into him like, bro, oh man, I got a lawyer, bro. We straight now. And I'm like,
and they're crazy.
So
dang.
I mean, you will have people that.
And then let's say that everybody does.
Everybody
that, but
plays
that's
that
why I say
card
like
when they want to.
It puts a bad taste in people's mouths when that is like people use that crutch.
Yeah,
okay.
big time.
So let me segue this then. So, and this is perfect. We'll end off with this, but inclusion as far as the whole, community, whatever inclusive looks like to you. Why do you think black men have an issue with inclusion so much, especially in the community? Because you'll look at it as a form of toxic masculinity at that point, but black men seem to automatically hate anything that has homosexual or any gay tendencies linked to it, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I know probably in our generation, it was the damnedest nation if you like. Yeah. Oh, your dad. If you had a dad around, we ain't having that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So black men have built this thing, like they. I'm trying to find the right verbiage to not be disrespectful, but black men tend to think that gay men want them. Nah. That's the number one thought that when I did, kind of like did some research. That's the first thing that they say. I ain't dealing with, nah.
Yeah.
And they're intimidated. Now you have your handful. That's like, I might not even be that man type. So what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's the number one thing a straight man would think in the black community.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
What do you feel? Because I know you're ready to go ahead and roll it off. So go ahead and take it in. Take it to the sunset.
I think it comes from a miseducation. I think
Lauren Hill. No, I'm just playing.
Crazy. I think the same way we were plucked in the head about how serious the HIV and AIDS epidemic was, I think which is in some cases, some schools are teaching the history of the LGBT community, and I think the difference is you have to find a way to unsexualize homosexuality to explain it, because that's what I had to have a conversation with to understand the trials and tribulations. First of all, it's tough enough for a gay man to even have to live in his truth, or a gay woman, to live in the truth. And the harsh realities is that we don't understand until we come to a certain level of maturity. I think that when we say when you move away the ignorance, you start to understand. You start to become more accepting. At the end of the day, it should be understood is that, like, you're right. It doesn't matter who you sleep with, who you go home with at the end of the night. I don't give a damn. The thing about it is that it's not to my liking, so why should I have to see it involved with things that I like? Like, I'm not gonna put chocolate syrup on my chicken wings. Although I like both, I'm not gonna put chocolate syrup on my chicken wings. Why do I have to do that? Because I have to include it because is something sweet. It's part of a recipe. What I'm saying is that it should be separated in the sense of like, that's cool, but you should have your own lane.
You haven't answered my question. You kind of danced around.
My
question to you.
Oh, why do men? Oh, but men. Okay, to the question exactly, is that we don't want to see it because it's not to our lifestyle. It's not to my lifestyle. It's not to my liking. It's like,
okay, stop.
That's what it is.
It's not to your liking.
Yeah.
2 lesbians though.
At the age I am now, do I frown upon it? No. Do I have an issue with it?
But
yes.
Okay, what's the issue?
The issue with it is that I have to now think about it in a different mindset, is that kids, nieces, nephews have to see this, and now you have to explain it to them. Now there's a different level where it comes, a different level of responsibility. Because I may like it. Okay, that's cool. I've been there, done that, but it's not, I have to now explain it. Now I see it with different eyes and say, well, you still have sex with men, but you only are this passionate with women. Now you got deeper issues. I've dated women like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, when it comes to that, those are conversations that we don't have. Cause we focus too much on men when we talk about homosexuality, but when it's men seeing women that are lesbians and homosexuals, we don't have those conversations because they're deeper rooted issues. I've had those conversations.
All of it's deeper rooted.
It is, but but we don't care about it with women because we see the beauty in the women, and right. We don't ask and realize when lesbian women saying, yeah, I don't like dudes or having sex with dudes because I don't like penetration, or you often have to hear, oh, because I was molested by my uncle or my father or this and that. Then that's harsh realities. Then now you don't see the lesbian episode as being.
That's from a lesbian.
That's from a lesbian perspective.
Okay, so what about the males that are raped and molested?
You know what? It's so swept under the rug, and we're just taught as men.
Don't contradict what you're saying.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm saying it from a male perspective is that we're taught to like, this is being honest, but we're taught to take it on the cheek and deal with it. That's just what it is. So, and it's never really discussed, and from an African American standpoint, it's never really brought to the forefront in like real conversation. That's what, i.e., the prime example, one of the greatest entertainers of all time, R. Kelly that was part of his deeper rooted issues.
Let's talk about Robert.
Robert was
told y'all what was going on.
Robert was molested, and he thought it was normal
to be sexualized.
Exactly.
Well, here's the thing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because Shawn will never let you talk.
I just let him go.
So I'm feeling the same way my producer is. He always hits the same thing I'm going to hit. But I think the uncomfort level for men is what they do in mainstream. Mm-hmm. They over-sexualize it.
Good
point.
They're
not giving you wholehearted details about what's
who
going
they are,
on, about who they are. You automatically are thinking sex when you hear the word gay or lesbian.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, if people, because I don't have that mindset. If you take the sex out of it and look at who the person is, like, y'all probably be best friends, be cool as hell. Mm-hmm. Because the thing about it is, just because you're straight don't make you right. Mm-hmm. And you know, to bring in a point, them Catholic preachers, people looked to them as they were straight, they were cool, they were preaching the word of God, they were bringing people to God and all that, and they were sitting there molesting little boys.
Big facts.
The whole time. But because they were men of God and they were straight to you, it was cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think if we really just get back to the root of just people, kind of what the pastor talked about on Sunday, but people being right, treating each other right, and doing right by each other, it'd be better. Because, case in point, I got tons of friends that are lesbian and gay, and some of them are more kind and thoughtful than my straight friends. I remember going through when I lost my job, and I'm like, man, I'm sitting here struggling. I'm talking to my homeboys like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna get this done. They're like, shoot, bro, that's crazy. Well, I'ma holler at you, dog. And they get out the phone. Not I'm looking for a handout, but I'm like just voicing my opinion. I'm on the phone with my homegirl who's a lesbian, and I'm like, man, like I said, she was like, what you got? And I was like, man, I'm just trying to stay faithful. It's just hard not having a job, and this. And I get out the phone, and 10 minutes later, a Cash App comes from her.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yo, who's a lesbian? Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like if we just look at the good in of who a person is and what they do, all that who they love and who they want to love on, it wouldn't matter. I don't even care.
But why do we think it doesn't matter? Because
I don't care who you.
It doesn't matter who you sleep with, but it matters that it's not a lifestyle that we're familiar with. Like,
it's almost like we're teaching hate versus teaching them like to.
How is that hate? No, that's what I'm trying to understand.
Because like you just keep going back to saying like we're not accepting of who they want to have sex with. So because we're not accepting of it, we're not gonna be cool with it.
No, I think it's like in my perspective, I don't care who you sleep with, but it's saying that, okay, let's say this. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you this. You know where it would be more accepting it? If you saw less of the feminine gay men.
But that's who they are.
Nobody. We ever asked why?
Well, that's what I said. Mainstream. The first thing you see in mainstream, you will see over-sexualized, and they always put a super hyper gay feminine man on it. Now that's not a true representation of everything.
That's true.
Because they have films that I've seen where they've had super straight men on there. You know, what his name? I haven't seen it, but see, what's the boy name?
P-Valley. Oh yeah,
Now people went nuts because that man played his part the way he's supposed to play it. They have men like that
man Tony
in the real world that are manly men that just happen to like men.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I felt like they finally represented the manly man without having a hyper gay person. You know what I'm saying? So that's mainstream's views of what we see. So the automatic assumption, if you don't have people in your family or you know people personally that don't give that portrayal, what are you going to see? That's what you're going to see in mainstream. They're showing you what they think you need to see.
Yeah, that's real.
They're not giving true representations, while you have people who, like you said, who have tried to create their own lanes and write these stories about normal masculine men or feminine men or whatever you want to be. They wrote these stories, but guess what? Mainstream ain't picking that up for you to see. So your only visual is, damn, there's another one, super hyper feminine, nails, purse, makeup. That's what you see. That's what they're selling you. And of course, if you that kind, I'm automatically turned off. Like, yeah, that's not what I want to see. They're not going to show you two normal men with a kid or who's going through an adoption process trying to get their first kid.
Right.
Or they're not going to show you the everyday struggle that I had to fight.
Well, there is a movie coming out, the M. Night Shyamalan movie that's coming out. Where it's a thriller, but it's basically, two homosexual men that. And they're not flamboyant. They both look
just
like
normal men.
Normal men. Yeah. And they have a daughter they adopted, and they're supposed to like protect their daughter with the people coming to the cabin. So I mean, like we said earlier, it's taking time, and some would say it might be taking too long.
Yeah.
It took a while for us to be able to get a Tyler Perry, and because they've had their Steven Spielbergs and for years, and but even then sometimes Tyler Perry misses on that.
He does.
You just have to be mindful, like. Before the judgment, like you said, we can just all. Do you know how far we can get as a black community if it was acceptance with all the community?
How much stronger would it be?
How much stronger it'd be if you just united? It'd just be like, I don't give a damn what you do over here. This is the cause we're fighting for. Let's fight for it. Like this gubernatorial the race we're gonna have. We know we need Stacey Abrams in office.
Do we?
Well, some people would think so. You know what I'm saying?
That's a tough conversation. I know that's a tough conversation.
I'm just using it as an example.
But I get what you're saying. Yes.
If it would be so much better if you just mind your own business. Yeah. Love who you love. And be done. Now, sometimes I get annoyed when people have to announce their sexuality. Hi, I'm such and such, and I'm this. We already know that. We already seen it.
Yeah.
Somebody has a great question for us.
Go ahead.
How does a man say he's a woman and wasn't born one, and or how women say they are a man but wasn't born one? If men and women that transform their bodies to resemble a man and or a woman are called a man or a woman, then what are the men and or women that were born that?
That is not a question. That is a paragraph.
And that's a woman.
And that's a woman.
Redfish,
bluefish.
Right. Greenfish,
I
bluefish.
was like,
Nick that paddywhack. Give a dog a bone.
I was confused because you's a man, he's a woman, and the man and women.
How now, brown cow?
Right.
But that's a real question though, and that's coming from a woman.
And I can't answer that because I can't dictate how people feel about themselves. You have people that I think people's feelings count, and those people feel like they want to be a woman. Who am I to tell them they can't be one?
The fact that their DNA.
No, that's scientific. I can't tell you how to feel as an individual. If you feel like that, that's you.
Okay, do this, G.
No, let's not do that.
Go to Chase tomorrow and tell them you identify with an 850 credit score, and when they deny you for your credit application, go ahead and sue them for discrimination.
That's apple to oranges, bro.
It's the same thing. It's what you identify. It's what you identify as. It's how you feel. You just said you acknowledge people's feelings. I feel like I got a 900 credit score. Give me $75,000 loans that I'm never going to pay back because that's what I identify. You identify
with a loan?
No, I identify with a high credit score. I identify with that percentile.
I mean, I have good credit too, but I'm not going to be no dummy and know what I like. Come on,
man. And you just proved my point because that's how dumb it sounds to say you identify as something that you're not. That's the point.
Listen. You cannot.
Case closed.
No, it's not. It's wide open.
Glove don't fit. You must acquit.
This is my show, and I say when it's closed. Period.
It's open.
It's open.
Quick trip over here. 24 hours.
No, I mean, that'll be a show that I would love to have, and I think I'm going to try to find some trans people. I would like to have the conversation. I don't know because I can't speak on how these individuals feel.
That's real. That's honest.
I can't speak on that.
100%.
I would like to have the perspective, so I think I'm going to try to find some trans people to come on and talk to me about it because I feel like they need to be heard as well.
I want to have a real life conversation with T.S. Madison. And T.S. Madison used to be she has, I would say she, but was a whole porn star.
I don't want
I know her history.
That's fine.
And T.S. Madison really is she's a very, what's the word I'm looking for? She's a very open-minded individual. And that would be a great conversation. What Jesus said would be a great conversation. And it actually is and I want people to understand, these are the conversations that are needed to break down the barriers so we can have unity.
This is why I decided to do this because
that's it.
It's stuff that we kind of sweep, that we kind of want to know answers to and talk about, but we're scared because we're worried about what people are going to think about it.
Because I have no hate. I have no hate for anybody's lifestyle. I have no hate now I may dislike it, but when it comes to your sexual preference, man, whatever gets your rocks off, God bless you, be great. But other things, it comes with that. And that's what I mean. That's the issue I have with inclusion because it's not just like that. It's everything that comes with it. Like we think we need water. We get a rainstorm. Yeah, but we don't realize the mosquitoes, the bugs,
the wind,
everything that comes with it. Everything comes with a price. That's my final take on it.
Well, thank you.
Oh, for me, not for your show.
Not for your show.
No, you're fine. No,
because it's your show.
So, this was good. Mm-hmm. I'm getting great feedback on my phone. That's why I keep going back and forth. I didn't have ability to get the phones activated because all the difficulties. But this is good to have because it opens up minds. Yeah. And as what I want to do as black men is just kind of expand the mind a little bit more like the Matrix. Yeah. And think about it for a second. Yes, it's thrown in your face as sexualized, but it's a little bit more. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you just kind of see, you don't have to accept it. That's fine. A lot of this is religious too.
Yeah. For some people.
A lot of it's religious beliefs.
But homosexuality was in the Bible though. And a lot of stories.
It was, but back in the day all the men were wearing wigs. It was accepted.
And that's weird.
There was some scarlets in the Bible too.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you're going to dissect that book, that's a whole nother conversation.
It really,
because again, the book was written a while back. Now we ain't got the new version.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody made a great point. Somebody asked a question, and I had a response to it. Maybe I know you got one more topic, or you done?
We finna wrap it up.
Do you mind when the LGBT community supports marches to stop police brutality, etc., because cops don't target them? I I have an issue.
Cops don't target them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna say that's lies.
Yeah,
because I've seen
It's definitely
that
been
with mine.
because the cop don't know if you're gay or straight.
Period.
They just know
How
you're
would
black.
they know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have an issue with the LGBT community in recent because of the lack of support they gave. Not Haley Bailey, but the girl that played the Little Mermaid.
What does the gay people have to do with that?
Great question.
Hurry up.
One of the biggest supporters of the LGBT community is black women.
Okay.
Why, and they go hard.
I still don't believe that, but go ahead.
They go hard. They go hard, man. Listen, they go hard for gay men and gay women,
Okay.
and so why not return a favor for this black woman represents what supports you, and give her that support when she was getting castrated for being the Little Mermaid because she was black.
Your algorithm must have been off that day, because all I saw was black women supporting
It's off, bro.
the Little Mermaid when it came up.
No, I'm talking about people from the LGBT community.
Hear me.
Oh, wow.
Your algorithm is still off because the kids were definitely wanting to see Chloe Bailey as a Little Mermaid. The kids definitely want to see it.
Is Halle?
Yeah, Halle, my bad.
But
the kids definitely want to see it.
But I didn't see one, and I'm not in a gay loop circle to say. But I didn't see anybody from the.
You don't
community.
have to be in a gay loop circle. You just said you know gay people.
Yeah, but I haven't heard anybody say, "Man, that girl's getting wrong by being dragged in the media." I didn't hear it. Oh, okay, didn't exist, and then I didn't say less.
But that goes. So
I didn't see it publicly though.
That goes so much. You know what? That goes so further than what the comment you just made. All black people are kind of like, no, white people are outraged.
Yeah,
They're just outraged because a black face is going to be the Little Mermaid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was watching something on YouTube, and do you know who the original structure of that face of the white Little Mermaid was made?
was a brown skinned woman.
No. It was Alyssa Milano.
Oh
That's
wow!
who they based her face off of.
Oh wow! Damn! Look.
Alyssa Milano herself said, I am ready to see it.
Oh wow!
So that's what Disney, because Disney, everybody knows Walt Disney was he was the most racist thing walking.
Yeah.
He wanted all his characters to be a certain look and all of that.
Snow White and the Seven Niggas.
So here's the thing. I can
dwarfs.
take that back to inclusion. Why not include this black girl as the new Little Mermaid? Why not?
We deserve it.
I say why not?
But like
Since
I said,
since you had so many problems with conclusion. It took how much time for that to happen, though?
It took time.
A lot of
So
years.
we saw Brandy be the black. Well, she was the first black Cinderella. It took time for that to happen.
That's true.
So over periods of time, it may happen. That's inclusion, bro.
Impossible.
Right.
Not.
So you got to think about this stuff when you start opening that hole between your nose and your chin.
It's okay.
I'm just saying. But listen, this was good, fellas.
100%.
I wanted to have this dialogue, and I knew that you guys would be the ones because of your show.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
To be open-minded to have the conversation.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it needs to be had.
Okay.
And there'll be more.
Yeah.
When you tell me your ass can be on time.
I know.
But, I'll have it with Brian first. But listen, y'all, go ahead and plug yourselves and tell these good old folks if they want to hear some of y'all crazy antics and debates where they can find y'all.
Yo, we are live on Hot 923 on Saturdays and Sundays from 4 to 6. It's your boy B Smooth in the building, alongside with the one and only.
It's your boy Shawn, man, a.k.a. Mr. Red Cup Conversations, man, the Man Cave Show himself, man. You can catch me, of course, with the man himself, man, B Smooth, a.k.a. Fat Boy ATL. He's one of the upcoming newest black food critics in the ATL as well, man. I ain't gonna let him.
Take me on some of these, Warren.
Man, man, Brian put you on so much food places you would never exist.
You'll never lose weight with me.
I got one on him. If you tune in this weekend, I got one for him that I discovered at Quick Trip. I'm ashamed to tell people this, that I eat food from the gas station. But what I'm gonna say is that it blew my mind, and I'm gonna tell you about it this weekend. Also, man, you can on Facebook Live. You can catch me Tuesday with my other family. We do Real Talk Tuesdays, man. I do so much, man. I'm around the city, man. I'm on every social media platform, man.
Because with a mouth like that, baby, you need to be everywhere. You understand me? With that debating tongue. No, I'm just playing. Listen, so
damn.
I love you, Shawn. You my boy.
Hey, I love you too, bro.
But listen, so I'm starting a YouTube platform for this show.
Yes,
so
indeed. Yes,
when
indeed.
you When I release it, you'll know, and you can watch this episode because it is being filmed, so you can see who Shawn is.
I can't wait for them comments.
And you can see these comments that's gonna fly because I know it's coming.
What?
But that is coming soon. I will let everybody know when that's coming. But thank you so much.
They're gonna be mad at a brother with a $3,000 outfit on. Though. Be mindful.